here we have Lemonaide, and this is an AI MIDI generator. That's right, it generates MIDI based on AI. Of course, you can choose between melody and chords, just chords, melody, even set the key scale or set the mood. So this is a standalone program. Minimize that, you can see it's a standalone program, but there is a plugin component, which we'll get to here in just a second. But let me show you how to use this and how it works. So we'll start here with melody and chords. Maybe we'll say key scale, put it on minor perhaps. Let's just leave it on C. And then all we have to do to generate our MIDI is choose get seeds. There we go. Let that generate some MIDI for us based on, our input. Starts playing. All right. If you don't like it, no problem. Next one. Next one. So down here, we have our transport controls, volume control here. All right. Again, it's generated with AI, so they're not all going to be perfect. Here we go. That's pretty cool. All right. Now we're also playing back with a piano. If you have some of these other models here, which you can subscribe to, you'll get different instruments that you can demo this with. All right. Again, it's all generated. Now, right now we are seeing this in waveform. There's a little switch here that says wave or MIDI. We can choose that. Switch over to the MIDI there. All right, 4 bars or 8 bars. You also have controls down here. Click this button. You'll see transpose, your BPM, and you can also lock that stuff down as you're generating if you want it to always be, say, the same BPM. Now, if you just stretch out your UI, there we go, then that will just be down here. Okay, so let's say we have this here. We want to transpose it to a different key. Maybe we can make that an F. You are now generating MIDI. And again, that's generating the melody and the chords. Maybe I just want chords. Maybe I just want melody. So let's just say just melody in, we'll go with D minor, or we can just say mood, maybe dark. Let's go with that. All right. Here we go. So now we have a few different keys just on the melody because we're doing just by mood. All right, so say you like something. Now we can drag this into our DAW. So first, what we need to do is click this plus here. That's going to use one of my credits. I have 445 credits right now. So click this, that's going to use one of my credits. It's going to save it to my library. So then I can come over here to my library. And here's some of the stuff that I have saved. Maybe I don't like that name, no problem. Click this button right there and, call it whatever you want. Let me actually get out of full screen there. Call it whatever you want. Maybe call it piano, dark, whatever you like. Then I can just drag it right into my DAW. I can just drag it here, or I can come down here where it says drag to DAW. I can drag that right into my DAW. And I already have Contact on this here. Noir, nice piano. There we go. Or maybe I want to try that with a different instrument, like maybe a synth. So I have Massive X on this track. Right there. So I'll just drag this MIDI down here to Massive X. And that's all there is to it, folks. You can generate MIDI with AI now and just pull it right into your DAW. Again, we were just doing the melody there. We can do just chords. We can do melody and chords. Totally up to you. Based on key scale, based on mood. Really simple to do. Let's do chords real quick. Key scale, let's just say E. We'll leave minor. Choose get seeds. It's going to generate some stuff for us based on our input. Okay. I can change this BPM. Maybe make it faster there. Or slow it down. Of course, I could just type in here too. There we go. That sounds cool. See the MIDI there. Now, I only have the one sound because I just have the seeds model. So I just have this piano sound. I can't change it. But again, if you have any of these other sounds here or any of these other packs, you can have different sounds to preview your stuff with or even use. But what I can do, instead of dragging in that MIDI, I can also drag in the WAV file. So I'll click plus on this one here just to add that to my library because I think it sounds pretty cool. Right? Now even back here, I can change it, right? If I want to make this, say, G flat minor, right? If I want to change the BPM, I can do that here too. All right, so say you like that, and I want to drag in, I don't want the MIDI this time, I want the actual WAV file, so no problem. Again, it's on the WAV setting here. You have two different switches. They do the same thing, whether it's the top or the bottom here, it doesn't matter. All right, so let's just drag this in to our DAW, and right here it is. Let's get all of this stuff out of the way so you can actually see it right down here. There it is. Just solo that. There you go. Of course, mix that with your drums, mix it with whatever beats you have or whatever beats you're creating, and quickly build up your track. All right, now I mentioned up top there was a plugin component to this, so let's check that out. All right, so Lemonaide is a standalone app, but you'll see here we have Lemonaide sounds and DAW mode. So first, let's generate something. What do you say? We'll just say go to D. Let's do melody and chords. Let's get seeds here. Just takes a second. What do you know? Right off the bat, it sounds good. I like that one. But maybe I have a specific piano in mind or a synth in mind, and I want to preview this before I use up a credit and I add it to my library. Well, no problem. I can change this from Lemonaide sounds to DAW mode. So let's switch that over. And right here, Lemonaide Bridge unlocks the ability for you to connect Lemonaide directly to your DAW. Okay, so you can choose your favorite virtual instruments and just use the MIDI. All right, so you'll need to download Lemonaide Bridge. That's free to download there, and it works as long as you have a current subscription with Lemonaide here. I already have it. So what we'll do here, again, I switch this over to DAW mode. Move that out of the way. Come over here to my effects, right here, Lemonaide Music. Grab this VST bridge here, this Lemonaide Bridge. Now I could put this directly on my MIDI track. I could also just throw it, in here and create a completely different audio track. It really doesn't matter here, at least in Studio One. I'm just gonna pull this up here. All right, so right now it just says, it says connected because we already have our DAW mode on. If I didn't have DAW mode, I had that on the Lemonaide sounds, it would say disconnected. Move this out of the way just so you guys can see this here and pop that back on, and then it will say connected. Now, we actually don't need to see this anymore. Let's just close that there. Now here's the deal. If I want to hear this piano here in contact, right, say the Noir Pure, if I play back my DAW, we don't hear anything. If I come in here to Lemonaide and I just play this, we don't hear anything. And that's because we need to set up where the MIDI is coming from to get to this Noir piano. So this Noir piano is on this track here. So I'll come up here to my inputs and I'll set that input to be Lemonaide Bridge. So that way, Bridge will be sending that MIDI into this track or into this piano. Okay, so then when I come back to Lemonaide and I play, right, I'm playing this MIDI here. We're on DAW mode, it says DAW is connected. Now it's playing through our Noir piano. Isn't that cool? So maybe you like it, maybe you don't. Let's check out something else. All right. And of course, you can preview this with whatever instruments that you want. Maybe I don't want to preview it with Noir. Maybe instead, I want to preview it with Massive X or whatever synth that you want. So again, same stuff here. Make sure that input is Lemonaide Bridge. Now, I should also mention this here. Let me just play back here, this here. So I'm playing back. We do have the input set as Lemonaide Bridge, but we're not hearing anything. That's because we need to enable or arm that track. There we go. So that way it passes the MIDI through, right? So then I can just find, completely different sound here and just keep going through Lemonaide. All right, let's maybe try this loop here. All right, that sounds pretty cool. So again, you can preview this stuff with whatever virtual instrument that you want. So again, if I like that, all I have to do, add that to my library. Come over to my library here. Don't forget, you can always change these names here if you wish. Stop that, I switched it off of DAW mode. Of course, in this case, I actually don't need it on DAW mode because I'm going to pull it in anyway. Then I'll just grab this and throw it onto my massive track, but right now it's set to wave, so we already know what to do here. Switch that over to the MIDI, then we'll just grab it, throw the MIDI right in there to massive. Very cool. Then we'll bring in some of our beats. Okay. Now here's the deal. What I drug in is in D minor, and my drum mix here with a bass is in G minor. So we have a bit of an issue here, right? But we know what we can do in Lemonaide. What we can do, if I already like that overall melody and those chords, we already know, it's saved here in my library. It's in D minor. I can always change this once it's in here to G minor. Look at that. Boom, changed it to G minor. Let me get rid of the one that's in there. Of course, I could have just transposed it in my DAW, but I want to show you what we can do here in Lemonaide. Then drag that in. Now we'll be in G minor, and now we'll be in the same key as our drums. Look at that. Boom, just that quick. You get those seeds, you get those ideas. You know, if you're stuck for an idea of what to record, what to do, what to create, what melody to create, you can use Lemonaide to quickly generate some MIDI, generate a melody, again, generate, just the chords, just the melody, or the melody and the chords, and quickly build up your track using AI to sort of spark your creativity. And again, now that it's MIDI, we can do whatever we want with it. You know, I could come in here and start transposing it further. Grab some bass notes here, copy these, maybe those down an octave there. Right. Again, it's MIDI. At this point, you probably know what to do with your MIDI, but it's just that easy, folks. I mean, let's do this again here. Let's sort of get an idea going here. Maybe we have our beat going. We have a really cool beat already going here, like this here. This is in, as you can see, F sharp minor. Okay. And maybe we just want a melody, maybe just chords. Who knows? We'll just go with, let's go with chords. Why not? Let's go with chords. And I think there's a bass in this already, so it's F sharp minor. We'll go with F sharp minor there on our chords. Click Get Seeds. Click it again there. Get our seeds. All right, check that out. Again, remember, we could use our bridge if we want to, but I'm just kind of gonna go by ear here. Kind of like the first one. Again, we could change our BPM in here if we want to match it up with our DAW, which is at 130. But it doesn't really matter that much for our, because you can always change the tempo of MIDI, no problem. I'm gonna go with the first one, I think. Just add that. It's going to use 1 credit. Come over to my library. Just drag in the audio, and let's see what we got here. So that's not the sound that we want, clearly. So instead of grabbing the wave, let's grab MIDI instead, and we'll drag that into, I don't know, we'll go with massive for now, I guess. Let's see what we got. All right, it already sounds pretty good. Of course, you can change our different patches here. That sounds cool. I like that. So maybe once you do that, you want to add a melody on top of that. So we can do that. Come back over here to seeds, and we'll do a melody in F sharp there. We can put this on 130. We can lock it down, and just on melody there, choose get seeds. All right, let's just try that. Add that to my library first. Then I can drag it in. And I want that on MIDI. Then I'll just drag it into, okay. Then we'll just drag that in. Have contact down here too. Right now we have strings on this. I don't think strings are gonna work for this. Maybe they will. Change the volume. Let's just see here. I don't think strings will work for that. Maybe if I change this to spiccato. There we go. Now we got something. All right, so you can see how, I'd have to change some of this stuff in the MIDI, but you can see how quickly that is to use AI to generate that MIDI, generate those ideas, and then quickly build up your track there just by using whatever virtual instrument that you want. Again, I got strings here. All right, that's pretty cool. Let's do this one more time. Maybe just a melody this time. I guess we can go with C. In minor, get some seeds. See what we got here. Right off the bat, it sounds good, but we have several choices here. This sounds cool. Let me just add that one to my library. Just a melody here. Come over here. This one here. And I want MIDI. Drag it right in. In this case, onto contact. We drag it up here. See what we got. Pretty cool, right? Maybe I want to copy this here, actually. I'm going to hold on Alt. I'm going to copy this up here too onto my piano. Drop that one an octave, of course. Or I could grab maybe a bass instrument, Let me do that. Let me see if I got a bass here. Maybe go for... All right. Again, let's drop this down. There we go. So now we have bass going on. Just that quick, folks. Maybe we'll mix things up. So we were in C minor, right? Let's do this here. Maybe this time we'll go just chords in C minor, and we'll get seeds with that. See if we can generate something for maybe a piano part or a synth part. Let's just see what we got. I already like that one. I'm just going to add that. Let's see what we got here. This one here, and we want MIDI. Okay. Drag it in. Just that quick, folks, generating that MIDI. Look at that. We're building up a song that quick. All done here in real time using Lemonaide. So we already have our melody and our chords down now. Now I can start working on my beat using whatever drum instrument I want or drum loops that I want. Just that quick, man. Look at that. All right, it actually works with this beat here pretty good, pretty well. Probably use maybe a bass preset, you think? I think so. Maybe some sort of a bass preset. I'm just going to grab something at random here and turn it down and get rid of this. I'm going to grab that melody. I'll pull it up here, copy it up here. Now, I could transpose this in several different ways. Have a full video on that if you want to learn about that stuff there. That's pretty cool, right? All using Lemonaide to generate that melody, generate those chords. We did those separately. Of course, you could generate chords and melody together, but you might get something different than generating them individually, of course. Chords, melody, melody and chords, key scale or mood, get your seeds. Let's do it one more time here. Get your seeds. You're going to get an option, several different options to choose from here. Of course, you could add all of them to your library if you want. Once you find something you like, just choose that plus. It adds it to your library. You can also customize 4 bars, 8 bars, DAW mode. Remember, if you want to use that link, come back to your library. There it is. Don't forget, click here, change this, call it cool melody, right? Whatever you want. Preview it. And even back here in your library, once again, you can transpose it here. So if C isn't going to work for us, we can maybe move that to A. You can also change the BPM, although if you're working with MIDI, you can always change the BPM in your DAW anyway. But then we have the option to drag in that wave or that MIDI. Again, just going over everything once again, just recapping, right? So I can grab this, drag it. Again, this is the audio. Turn this stuff off first, of course. So just the audio. Or drag in the MIDI. You can switch that over to MIDI. And then we can just drag this in and use it with whatever virtual instrument that we want. So in this case, we're using it with Analog Dreams. That's actually pretty cool. There we go. That's a cool one. All of that generated MIDI using AI, or of course use it up here with our piano. Turn on delay and reverb for that. All right, so if you want to pick this up for yourself, you can head right over here to lemonaide.ai. Try it for free. This is a subscription. You can check out the pricing here. So I have the Seeds model, 150 credits a month, and they do roll over up to 8 bars generations. And you have access to your Lemonaide VST Bridge, audio and MIDI loop and melodies. And now they also have the Collab Club models, and these are based off specific artists' sounds, and they work with those artists, so they're also getting money from this too. So they're not just taking sounds from people and just saying, screw you guys. They're actually giving money to the people who sort of created those styles or those overall sounds. So you can get that, any of those models, individual models, for $9.99 a month as well. And again, as I mentioned, if you have those other models, you'll have different sounds within Lemonaide that you can then drag in those those waveforms with different sounds. Or what I kind of just prefer is use my own sounds because I have tons of virtual instruments already. So you can just generate whatever you want within Lemonaide. Either use that VST bridge or just drag it in, and then try it with a synth, try it with a piano, try it with strings, and build up your beats, build up your songs very quickly. Get inspiration for, if you're stuck, you're not quite sure what to do, just generate something within that key, and it might unlock, your own creativity to continue building up that beat or building up that song, just by using AI to give you a little bit of sort of that initial spark to get that song going. All right. So once again, folks, the future is here, folks. We can now generate MIDI, melody and chords, or just the melody. Generate MIDI with AI right on your computer by using Lemonaide. Awesome. But again, folks, the future is here. Generating MIDI. All thanks to Lemonaide. Again, we'll have links in the description below. Go check them out.
Loving lemonade, oh so sweet. Every moment is a treat. Yellow joy dancing in the shade. I'm in love with lemonade.